What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for episode 16 of our Madden 22 Pink Slips franchise with our created team, the Vancouver Grizzlies, who are very hot to start out Season 2. We're in the 2022 season, and we're 5-1. Now, you might be a little bit slight at our offense, 75 overall. Sure, yeah, whatever. We're putting up points. Our defense is very good. We have a down-to defense full with blue-chip players. So let's get a quick roster recap before we figure out what games we're going to be hopping in and playing in today on the stick. So offensively, we've been doing some wins. We've been winning. So there's some new players you might have missed in case you missed an episode. So at quarterback, we have one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. Trey Lance has been absolute fire. More so in the sim, which is what's been awesome, right? Because usually it's like, all right, the guy looks good when we're playing. When we go to the sim, he's getting like 2 picks, one touchdown type games more often than not. Trey Lance is getting like 4 touchdowns, no picks, more often than not. We got Hunter Renfrow. We won him away from the Vegas Raiders. He's going to be a new starting slot wide receiver. We have Claypool, Mechie, Palmer, they're still there. Jordan Mailata. We got Kevin Dotson from the Pittsburgh Steelers at guard. And then flipping to the defensive side, this is where we've just been adding talent. We got Aiden Hutchinson, who might be the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft out of Michigan, was a Heisman finalist. We also have been able to add, well, we drafted Sauce Gardner, but we've also been able to add to the defense Marcus Williams at safety, formerly of the New Orleans Saints. I can't remember what team actually we won him from. I feel like the Texans, who we actually have on the Slater today. He's an 88 star dev safety. We got Willie Gay not too long ago, middle linebacker. We've been able to bring another. It seems like he's starting to get soured on a little bit in the draft process, but I'd still like to think most people consider Kayvon Thibodeau like the lower end of the blue chip players in the 2022 draft class. We have him at edge rusher. We have the hottest edge rusher in the NFL, Jalen Phillips, who's gone up to a superstar dev this season. We are only, 6 games in, and he has 11 sacks. 6 games in, 11 sacks. He is looking at breaking some records. The hottest player, I think, on either side of the ball in the NFL right now is Jalen Phillips. So I'm bullish on our team, man. This is, usually it takes around 4 years on average to be, we might be winning a Super Bowl. And it's 5-1. It's a little bit early. We've seen, especially in the Eagles series, that things can go for a turn for the worse, especially on these sliders, where you can lose 5 games in a row just like that, just in the blink of an eye. So what we're going to do in today's episode, I think, because we have a couple big-time matchups here. We have Week 7 against Houston, who we just kind of played and beat. Week 8 against the Tennessee Titans. We have Week 9 against the football team. Because we're 5-1, I feel like I want to get to that bye week. I want to have 2 sim games. Those are 2 opportunities to potentially lose, kind of inflate our record a little bit, and see, let's just see how good this team really is. I'm thinking, well, I don't want to play Houston. We just beat up on Houston. So I'm thinking we sim Houston, and then it really comes down to the Titans and football team. Now, we are putting ourselves at risk because you play 3 games, 1 episode, 2 games I'm going to be simming. Kind of opens up a chance for us to lose players. Let's take a look here at the Titans and the Commanders. I guess we can start calling them Commanders now. Which of those 2 teams is the team we most likely want to play? Again, Titans are in the division. It will not be our last opportunity to play them. I think Jeffrey Simmons would be awesome for our defensive scheme, to be honest with you. Evans, sure. Got Harold Landry, Jayon Brown, Hooker, Davis on the offensive line there, sure. I mean, let's be honest, there's still not a lot of crazy players. There's McDuffie here, the rookie, have a hidden dev. He's a star dev, okay. Could use him as a 3rd corner. Let's look at the old football team, a.k.a. Commanders, a.k.a. it's a terrible name. Again, like guys in the 90s, it's tough to project. Like, it's tough to look at guys that are in the 90s overall and be like, oh, that's who we're going to win. But, I mean, depending on a victory, you never know. Like, Scary Terry, John Allen, J-Rob. You got Chase. I think Chase Young would be pretty cool. Cam Curl could be kind of cool. I mean, that's not really a dev upgrade or anything like that. Honestly, looking at it, I'm getting a better vibe from the Titans here. So I think that's, as far as I can read into this right now, I could be wrong, could be off base. Like, you'd want to play football team here if you had, like, a lock on, like, you could get one of these top 5, top 6 guys. Those are guys you really want on the team. When you look at the Tennessee Titans, you could get down there into the 70s and there's still some desirable players, you know what I'm saying? Like, Byron at 90, that's the cutoff. You get some guys in the 80s. So I think we'll do that. We're going to sim against Houston. We're going to play the Titans. We'll sim against Washington just to roll right into the bye week. Because then from the bye week, you go to week 18, 2 games per episode, kind of lines itself up nicely. So let's just, let's see here. We'll start with Houston. I really think for a game plan, I mean, it's Deshaun Watson. Take away Deshaun Watson. So what do we want to focus on here? We want to defend the deep pass. Sure. I don't know why they don't give you the values that you do on next-gen console. It seems like something that doesn't really, like, I guess it's the next-gen stats. But I will work on running it. Even though I don't really know if that's the best game plan for how hot our quarterback is right now. Trey Lance, he's so hot right now. So I don't know if we want to just focus on the run. But let's see if we can get through practice healthy. Defense is healthy on the offensive side of the ball. It looks like so far so good. Hey, fully healthy Vancouver Grizzly team is going to host the Houston Texans here. 5-1, looking to keep it going. Have a couple big upgrades here. What do we got? We'll start with Jalen Phillips. I'm not going to show everybody because there's a lot of guys. Let's show the big dogs. Jalen, look, that is a big upgrade right there. Acceleration, his coverage, 3 zone, 1 man, a power move. Yes, sir. Let's also show some love. We'll just do Aiden Hutchinson to finish it up. Power rusher, made his debut. I think we got to change his face there a little bit. I'm going to do that right now because that is not Aiden Hutchinson. That looks like a guy that's on, like, you know, watch lists. Can't go near schools and stuff. Not Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson's a little bit. Let's go. But I hope they added Aiden Hutchinson's face paint into the game. Like that. What looks like Aiden Hutchinson? Probably like that one? I'm trying to think. Like, what does Aiden Hutchinson look like? That one could look like Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, no. That's Aiden Hutchinson. Right there. That's literally Aiden Hutchinson. So we'll fix that face. Make him look good. All right. I don't know what you're doing there, but let's get into this game against Houston. Who the fuck is this guy? Actually, before the game, I want to spend some of my staff points here. We've been just sitting on it. So I want to give, you know, again, in something like pink slips, player personnel, very, you know, don't need it. It's not, there's no real value to that. So now it just comes to improving your squad. I just feel like, again, let's focus on player growth, training. Let's get some bonus for our receivers. Let's get some bonus for our offensive line. And let's get some bonus for Chuba Hubbard and the running backs. All right, let's see it here, baby. Same game. Feeling kind of optimistic because we're on a win streak. Maybe that's going to play in favor to our momentum. Houston does get the opening score of the game. And, you know, they desperately want to get a player back because we have kind of been beating on them. And that's phrasing. But we've been beating up on the Houston Texans. We've been taking some talent. It's been a one-way street when we've been playing them. So they're having a hell of a second half here. It was very close in the first half, but they have just absolutely turned the Jets on. Slight collapse. If we can get a defensive stop here, which unfortunately we cannot, it's looking kind of like we are going to have to send them a player. Ends up being a 1-score loss. High scoring. But Houston gets 38 points. That is not good enough from the defense. So I'm going to calculate it. We're going to figure out just what kind of upgrade the Houston Texans are going to be able to steal away from the Vancouver Grizzlies. All right, so taking a little peek here. They won 38-31. So they got 2 stars because it's a win and a divisional victory. Looking at the player stats, luckily wasn't super hot for Houston in this matchup. Deshaun Watson with 2 rushing touchdowns gets a half-star. On the receiving standpoint, Jamal Agnew going over 100 receiving yards gets a half-star. But that is it. Go to the defense. No one really did a whole lot. So it ends up being a 3-star performance because it's sim. We have it, which is 1.5, and then we round up. So it's a 2-star performance plus 4 upgrade for the Houston Texans. So this is our first time at losing a player since we've done the Vancouver Grizzlies. And for those of you that have ever seen us lose a player, we always act as if we're the team that won. So if I was the Houston Texans and I had a +4, what is the best +4 that I would spend? It could be, you know, and obviously it can be various ways you can get that +4. You can get a +3 and a +1 upgrade, 2 +2 upgrades. And I just factored to go with the pure +4, given the lack of depth that they currently have at the cornerback spot. We could have flip-flop again with Marcus Williams at safety and got Justin Reed back, but that was only a +3, and there wasn't really any strong +1s that we could have done. That's just flip-flop from an upgrade that we did, last time we beat Houston. So I felt like to do something a little bit different, and I think I probably would have taken this. They're going to be setting us Akella Witherspoon, 76 normal dev corner. At least he's a scheme fit for us. And they're going to be getting our corner with the highest upside. I mean, we do have Sauce Gardner, which is nice, but you would still assume the ceiling for Farley is just a little bit higher. 80 star dev, only 23. So that's a pretty sizable loss. We are losing our #1 corner on the roster, and that's just, that's Pink Slips, man. Pink Slips sounds like it's super easy, super, overpowered when you're winning all your games. All it takes is for a couple losses thrown in here, and your team goes to shit. So now's the Grizzlies. We are looking to get back in the win column against the 2-5 Tennessee Titans. We know what they're about. We know what they want to try to do. So as we set up our weekly strategy, there is one man that we desperately want to try to stop, and that is, my God, they have a top 5 offense. Well, we want to stop Derrick Henry. That's who. Man, how are they 2 wins when they have this? Their defense has to be horrific. Okay, it is pretty bad. They have a pretty good rush defense, but their pass defense is bad. This is the game we're really hopping in on, so it's kind of cool that we'll be able to just slang it all over the place with Trey Lance. That's at least going to be the idea. Stop Derrick Henry and throw bombs. That's a hell of a strategy. Our run defense has been pretty solid. Our run defense, even before we had a good defense, was fairly solid. So let's see if we can go into this one with a full-strength lineup. The offense will be at full strength. On the defensive side, oh no, it's Marcus Williams, our starting free safety, with a dislocated shoulder. That's not what you want, man. We already have a hit to the secondary by not having Caleb Farley out there. Now we're down our starting free safety against one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. Don't let that 2-5 record fool you. They are a lot better than that. We'll spend our points here. We got Hunter Renfrow and a couple Canadian. We'll get Renfrow. I mean, you've yet to play with Renfrow on the offense, so that's going to be nice to see if he could just literally get wide open all the time. That's kind of how I'm picturing it in my head. We got Shepard, who does play some snaps here and there as a substitutional, rotational, whatever you want to call it, run defender. But yeah, at least we get to see what Hunter Renfrow is like on the sticks as we look to avoid going on a 2-game losing streak and get a win here against the Tennessee Titans and remain first place in the AFC South. So we know our advantages in this matchup. They are very bad defensively. We got 3rd and 5 against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I will say this, man. Kind of hard, like, it's just not a good combination of jersey combos on the field. Not a lot of transparency. Doesn't not stand out. The contrast isn't necessarily there. That's a hell of a pass to Josh Palmer. 20 yards. Drive continues. First chance to see what Renfrow can do in the slot. We know, and we've experienced great slot play on this channel this season. All right, that was pretty good. Oh, and he falls forward for the touchdown. There we go. First touchdown pass. Of course, it's going to the new guy, Hunter Renfrow. And the Grizzlies get the first score of the game. Oh, 3rd and 5. They try to run it. No chance. Aiden Hutchinson says, you ain't getting 2 yards. And there's a great stop from the Grizzly defense. As we get ready to start this drive, I did say at the end of the last episode that if we win 1 game in this episode, we were going to flip the sliders from Flatsco sliders to all C4 sliders. So let's keep that in mind. If we get a win here today, the difficulty is going to get bumped up a little bit. Continue with the slants to the slant god himself. You would assume now. That's Hunter Renfrow's title. With Michael Thomas out, Devontae Smith doesn't exist in this world. We got 2nd and 4 on the 7 now. Nice methodical drive. Who wants this? We do it ourselves? And we do it ourselves. Tuck and run. Trey Lance gets in for the second Grizzlies score of the game. Don't really know. That doesn't really help us out in pink slip scoring because we're probably not going to get another rushing touchdown with him. But it helps us from getting, you know, we got to get the dub. Number to 3, quick slant to the tight end. Drive continues, 7-8 for Tano, very accurate. Third and goal. If we could bend, no break, hold him a field goal attempt, that is quite the feat, especially with Derrick Henry in their backfield. They throw it to Derrick Henry. The Singleton is there for the pass breakup. What is Vrabel going to do? Sends out these special teams. They miss a 21-yard field goal. Oh, what the fuck was that? I don't even think he completed the catch. One of the biggest hits I think I've seen in Madden. Suicide pass hospital throw to Josh Palmer. But I don't think he had that. And of course we can't challenge that. Look at the instant replay. Do you think he made a football move here, fellas? I don't think he made a football move. Like, there's completing the catch. That's bullshit. Guess it's making up for them missing the 20-some yard extra point. Basically an extra point field goal. Nice little TFL there by Hutchinson. Let's stop him again, man. The refs don't want us to win this game. If they're calling that a fumble. And able to do a check down to A.J. Brown to get the ball in. Pretty much got gifted a touchdown there from the referees. 3rd inch on the 35. No run plays available, so... Oh, that was just... I mean, again, bad play call. That's not the first time, man, across all of the series. This series, Eagles series... We de facto to house rules. Oh, I like that we're going for it. And the play calling has been, you know, at times frustrating. I guess that's what you want. That's why you want house rules, so you're not just constantly calling the best possible play. And that worked out well. Go for it. Stay aggressive. As Chuba Hubbard is 14 yards away for some pink scoring. Oh, shit. Walked into that sack. Throw it right in front of Claypool. He's impossible to bring down. He's like the Derrick Henry of wide receivers. Burn a timeout. All right, 1st and 10. We're looking at Kelvin Benjamin, man. It's been a quiet couple games here for Kelvin. Can you make him say, Or we just go to Renfrow because he's that good of a route runner. He's wide open. Second touchdown of the game for 14 as the Grizzlies had on another tutty before halftime. God damn it, man. Zero pressure. Let's fuck this. Let's go blitz, maybe. He's got to feel us. He hasn't even felt our warmth yet. Go, nice little TFL there on the edge. Nate Hawley playing because of the injury. DeMarcus Williams. Let's get home. Let's get home. Come on. Stiff him. Force him into a bad throw. Oh! Should have been a pick by Hawley. Got the mitts on her. And that settles the Titans for a field goal. Nice. We don't have to establish a run. See if we can get them to bite on a play action. Kelvin Benjamin looks pretty juicy. Doesn't really get any separation, so that play was kind of doomed. Harold Landry gets a second sack of the game, sets up 3rd and a mile, which these are awful play calls, so I guess we'll go angle curls. Able to connect with Chuba. I don't think that's enough to really field goal range it. Probably not. And Derrick Henry's, Jesus Christ, man. Taylor Lewan's the greatest tackle in the NFL, and Derrick Henry's the second coming at Marshall Faulk. All right, we got him in a 3rd and 7. Not a lot of confidence here, but we're gonna try our best. Maybe try to get, like, internal pressure. That's actually a terrible cut by Julio Jones to go back into the middle of the field. What are they gonna do? Probably go for it. What? Settle for a field goal again? That's surprisingly passive there from Mike Vrabel, but that's a good stop for the defense. Say this to a field goal here, not the worst result for us on this offense. We want a touchdown, we'll score a touchdown every time, but a field goal really helps us going a long way to securing the victory. Third and 5. I guess we're gonna keep it on the ground with a rookie out of Florida, Dameon Pierce. Powerful runner. Maybe he'll be enough to move the chains. He gets kind of stuck up in traffic. Ends up being a 3-yard loss. But luckily we are in field goal range. It's a very important field goal. We hit this. Very difficult to lose this game. It is up. And Harulahu makes it to put 24 on the board for the Vancouver Grizzlies. Oh my God. I mean, not much you can do there. That was just super quick. Oh, that's a good grab. Good throw. Good grab to the tight end. It's a mismatch. Still in the middle of the field, though. Burn the clock. Greatest offensive line all time. Can't sniff Tannehill. Oh, wow. Okay, broken play. We're going to go for 2 to try to make it a field goal game. Could be difficult. Try to penetrate the greatest offensive line in NFL history. And it's a field goal game. We bought our ebooks, though. We've done our homework. We feel confident on recovering the onside, which we do. There is a chance we could face a Hail. It's 4th and 2. We are going to run this. If they're going to stop here, there's a chance they can get a Hail Mary off. But they can't. Chuba Hubbard navigates the line of scrimmage, gets the first down, 169 yards, fitting as the Vancouver Grizzlies end the losing streak at 1. Able to get back in the win column, get to win a player back, even though they're going up against the greatest offensive line in the NFL history, the greatest offensive line in the NFL. It's a nice victory. So look at the scoring from this matchup. We won the game, and it was a divisional victory, so that is worth 2 points right off the bat. 2 stars. Looking at our player performances, I'm cheesing this one slightly. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I just want to reward him. Trey Lance had 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, so that's 3 touchdowns for our quarterback. So I'm giving him a half star off of that. I'm giving Chuba Hubbard half star for 169 yards rushing. We get a half star for Hunter Renfrow getting 2 receiving touchdowns. Very, very quiet game on the defense side. St. Juice stepped up. 8 tackles, 2 TFLs, no sacks, no picks. So it ends up being a 3.5 star performance. Round down. It's a 3 star, but a +6 upgrade incoming for the Vancouver Grizzlies. And there's really no debate with that +6 about what upgrade was the upgrade that was going to happen. Easily my favorite player on the Titans. Fits our scheme of 3-4. He's been serviceable for us. Eric Armstead, 85 star. Like, I mean, it's not like they're getting a bad player in return. But we're going to be sending Eric Armstead, spending all of that +6 to bring in Jeff Simmons, our first 90+ player that we've won in Pink Slips. 91 superstar, only 25 years old. An absolute animal, man. Reminds me of like prime Fletcher Cox. And he is going to come right in and be an absolute menace on our defensive line. And with the addition of Jeff Simmons, I think it opens things up to, to talk about team captaincy. And what I'm going to do is between Hutchinson and Thibodeau, I think I'm gonna take it off Thibodeau. I mean, we're still waiting to see what the dev traits are. There is a chance that if both one of these guys have an X factor, this could not age well. But under the assumption that maybe there's no X factors, there's superstars, you can't not give a protection to a 25-year-old superstar D lineman. I feel like it'd be foolish. We don't want to be clouded vision, clouded judgment, everything, because we have so many top talents from the 2022 draft class, and these guys are rookies, and the unknown is still there. We have the known, which is Jeff Simmons being, what does this show his ranking in the NFL? he's got to be top 5. Top 5 defensive end in his position, especially 4-3-4. So I don't know. I think that's the right call right there. And hopefully we don't lose in any situation where Thibodeau can get poached. At least till we see his dev trade. And that sets things up for the triple header, the final game against the 2-5 Washington Commanders. They're a good team. Team rating definitely better than their base rating. Let's see how we want to try to line up here weekly strategy-wise. Take them down. They still got Heineke pulling the strings. Very good offense. First in passing yards. What? I refuse to believe that. Defensively, they're a almost top 5 rusher, so we want to throw the ball on them. They can sack the quarterback. So let's work on throwing it short, actually. Let's see if we can get the ball out of our QB's hands, out of Trey Lance's hands sooner than later. Get through training. Hopefully there's no big injuries, and we can go into this matchup against a team that's a lot better than their record in the football team. And go 2-1, and there's 2. Williams is out again! Down our starting free safety, back-to-back injuries in practice for Marcus Williams. We have an injury to Zylstra, depth wide receiver. Okay. Not going to say I'm a little disappointed. I'm a lot disappointed. Let's see if we can get our first sim victory of the episode and go to 7-2. Alrighty, let's go on the road at FedEx Field. Let's see what we can do, man. Football team gets the first score of the game. Heineke. What is going on here? We're getting absolutely rammed. Need some points here before halftime. We get a field goal. This is just very disappointing from the Vancouver Grizzlies. At least, you know, we got a chance. Get the touchdown. They turn it over in the red zone. And we tie it up very quickly. They get a little bit of momentum back. They score a touchdown. We go down the field. Have to settle for a field goal. But it's a 7-point game. End of game drive. We're in the red zone. 3 minutes. Can we get the touchdown? We do. We tied up at 27. 2:11 to go. Let's see Jeff Simmons make a big play. Defense get off the field. And we got 28 seconds to run this one. And we can never get... I don't think we had the lead that entirety of the game. So, kind of like a highlight at the beginning. We're going to sim 2 with the expectation that, yeah, maybe we're going to lose some. Lose a couple here. It's out of our control. And that's actually just what happens here against Taylor Heineke and, like, the best offense in the NFL. What? That's lame. So look at the Pigs scoring here. They were able to beat us 30-27. So they get 1 star for the victory. Looking at the player stats for the football team Commanders. Heineke with his passing yards gets a half star. We have Scary Terry, actually had a huge game, but going over 100 receiving yards gets him a half star. And on the defensive side, 3 TFLs for Chase Young is worth a half star. And an interception for Charvarius Ward is worth a half star. Ends up being a 3-star performance. Because it was a sim loss, we have it, so a 1.5 stars. We'll round it up to be generous. So it's a 2-star performance for the football team, a +4 upgrade incoming. And this is also a painful loss. I will say the one thing I don't do in losses, maybe it's not fair, but anytime there's like a +0 upgrade where you straight up swap players, I won't do that. That's something that we will fully take advantage of, but I'm not going to punish myself that way. I just want to spend the +4 that the football team had and get it, because they could have got Sauce Gardner, swap 76 for a 76. I was like, you know what? No, screw that. Screw that. Because it was out of my control. It's a sim loss, above all. But they're still getting a massive upgrade with that +4 that they earned. They are going to be sending us Sam Cosmi, who's still a solid tackle prospect, only 23, 73, but they are getting the tackle prospect from the 2022 NFL Draft, Evan Neal, 77, and that is most likely a superstar dev. We'll make the trade and we'll see the dev. Maybe it's star. I hope it's star. But for someone as blue chip as Evan Neal, I'm going to make the assumption that he's a superstar. So we just lost a superstar tackle for a normal dev tackle. There's no other way to really look at that. Let's double check though. I mean, if we had more captain's badges to throw around, we probably would have thrown one to Evan Neal eventually, right? You just can't protect everybody. It is superstar. That is a bad loss. We lost a franchise piece on our offensive line. But that's what happens when you lose games, man. We lost Evan Neal. We lost Caleb Farley. We lost our best tackle, highest ceiling tackle, because even though we have Mailata right now on the squad, Mailata is stuck on that star dev. So I think it's fair to say that Evan Neal had a higher ceiling than Jordan Mailata. So we lost our highest ceiling lineman at tackle, nonetheless, one of the most important positions in the NFL. And we lost our starting corner 1 to get in Ahkello Witherspoon. So we did get some additions. I'm very excited to have Jeff Simmons on the lineup here. We're actually going to kick him here to left defensive end. At least we had some give. We had a lot of taking away from our squad. We had a little give. You gotta give. And we got Jeff Simmons on the defensive line. But ultimately, with 3 games on the slate, 2 in the sim, we always knew we're kind of opening ourselves up here to sim losses. But I think as we enter the spot, we see our week 10 on the bye week. Everything looks pretty good. All of our rankings look fairly good. And I think that's a good spot to cap off this episode. So thank you guys very much for watching. As always, first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys back here on the next one. Peace out.